Good morning. Happy Sunday to you, but it is Thursday at the moment. So again, I've been really shit at filming content, and today probably isn't the best day to try and film for YouTube, but I need to film something because when I commit to it, I commit to it. So today is a rest day for me. However, I do have another photo shoot. But I'm not going to film too much of the photo shoot because you've literally just seen one. Literally last week I took you through my first photo shoot. That was a studio shoot. This one is in Manchester, so it's going to be a bit more uncomfortable because I'm going to be out in the public and people can see me posing, and that's really going to push me out my comfort zone. But I'm not going to show you too much of that. I mean, maybe I will, we don't know, but that's not the purpose of this video. In this video, because it is a rest day, I'm going to show you my full day of eating on a rest day because it's a rest day. I think it's a good thing to show because it's much less food than you will have already seen. So I have done a full day of eating, but that was on a high carb day, on a refeed day, which was 3,000 calories. I think it was 350 grams of carbs. And my usual rest day, which is today, is around, I think, 1,300 calories, give or take. I follow a meal plan at the moment, but I will track these meals into my fitness pal and put them up alongside the meals so that we can see what the daily total is. Probably when I see how little food I'm on, then I'll feel hungry. Who am I kidding? I'm already hungry. So I'm going to show you my rest day food today, take you along with me to Manchester, film some little bits and bobs for you there, but also just talk to you about how I manage my hunger on such low calories. Now, when I say manage my hunger, I don't mean how do I not get hungry, because I tell you now, I'm fucking hungry. And that is just a given when it comes to prep, like you will be hungry. It's just a feeling you have to get used to, and you'll probably never ever be satiated. Even post-show. So there are things that you can do to manage your hunger though, to make it a bit more manageable and a bit less hard. And this is something that I've really noticed the difference with this year in comparison to last prep, because my routine and some of the approaches and some of the things that I do this year is making everything so much easier to manage. So I'm going to talk you through a few different things of that. So I've already eaten my first meal. It was a little bit later than normal. So normally I have my first meal around 9:30 once I've done my meal prep for the morning. So this is one big tip, is trying to, and this is something that really helps me, is actually spacing my meals out relatively evenly. So I'll try and eat sort of every 3 hours. So I have 5 meals a day. I'll have one at about 9:30, then one at about 12, another one at about 2:30, and then another one at like 5-ish, and then another one at 8-ish, roughly. They don't have to be like spot on those times, but I'm eating sort of every 3 hours, so I'm constantly satiated. And also in each of those meals, I've got a really good amount of protein, a good source of protein, which is also going to help keep me satiated, but it's also multiple opportunities to spike muscle protein synthesis and help me maintain muscle and recover from my training sessions. So that's one of the big things that I think has really helped me this time around, because last prep I was PTing on the gym floor, so I didn't have as much control over my time and also how much time I had to cook and eat and so on. So I've really noticed a difference with doing that. So I've had meal 1, which was 250 grams of egg whites. As you will have seen, I don't use bottled egg whites just because I haven't got round to buying anymore, but highly recommend buying the ones from bulk powders. Really, really good. They're long life until you open them, so they last forever. So 250 ml of egg whites, just separating the yolk and egg, plus 150 grams of courgette. So nice low carb, high protein meal to start with. And like I said, I'd normally have that about 9:30, but I went to get my makeup done by my makeup artist / my sister, and that was a bit later than normal, so I actually didn't eat it until about 11:15. It's currently 12 o'clock now. I've just packed all the stuff that I need for the photo shoot, which is I've just kind of winged it. I'm hoping that these outfits look good. I think I've got about 10 sports bras in my bag, so we'll see. But this is one of the main kind of outfits that I'm working with, which is one of the new colours from Alphalete. So I think this is whale blue, and then I've got like this orange sports bra underneath, and my Nike Zooms, because they are quite photogenic for shoes. Anyway, I did just get this insight order in, so I might as well show you this while we're here. So I take EAAs and cyclic dextrin intra-workout, so I have 15 grams of EAAs, 15 grams of cyclic dextrin. I have run out of both, which is really inconvenient because that's like 120 calories. The cyclic dextrin I ordered like last week, missed the delivery. I'm not going to get it re-delivered until Monday. But anyway, I ordered some EAAs and they had, so CMP has come out with some new flavours. I talk like I know much about supplements. I'm really like the least bodybuilder there is, because I don't really take that much. I don't even remember to take my creatine most of the time. Anyway, I thought I'd try these new flavours because I needed some EAAs. I really like the Innova Farm EAAs, but these are pretty cheap. They are cheap, but you get literally like half a fucking tub. Like it's half full at most. So they seem cheap, but really you're not getting that much for them. But they taste okay. Sweet. Don't know what that is, just a free supplement. It's so cute that they have these little letters from Insight. I am definitely not sponsored by them. I'm not sponsored by any supplement company, so I obviously just bought these. But how cute is that? And they send little signed notes. But yeah, these are the 2 flavours that I got, because they came out with these, what are basically like Fanta lemon, Fanta orange, and Fanta flavours. So these are the 2 flavours that I got. So I got the, where's the actual flavour, what's it called? Fantasy lemon. And I got the twisted fruit. So they should be good. But like I said, like you literally get, let's have a little look. Let's have a look. How much do we think is in these? As you can see, I don't know if you can see. You can't see, can you? You can't see. Anyway, it's like half full. I'm like, come on. Looks great, but it's half full. Anyway, I'll be trying these tomorrow in my leg session. See what I think of them. I'll probably go for the lemon one first because that's the one that caught my eye. But then I was like, I might as well just get 2 because they run out so quickly. So yeah, we'll see what we think of those. But that is all I got from them. And then the cyclic dextrin will be re-delivered, hopefully, on Monday. So for now, I'm literally just gonna get everything packed up, put on some clothes because it's fucking cold. That's what I'm worried about actually, because we're shooting outside. I'm like, am I gonna be fucking freezing? Probably. I've already prepped my meals. I'm just gonna take 2 meals with me, and then I'll have the other 2 meals when I get home later on this evening. So I'll show you those when I have them. And bag's already packed. Just need some water, and then I'm gonna head down to Manchester. So this vlog, do you call it a vlog? This video, it might be a bit hectic. I have literally chosen probably the worst day to do it. Very little planning, very little time, very little patience. But we need to get a video up, so hopefully you enjoy it either way. Oh, I did my check-in this morning as well. I should really tell you this at different times, so at least you'll see in like a different setting. But anyway, did my check-in this morning. We have cardio in again, so yeah, anyway, I'll probably tell you about that later on today. So yeah, so that you see something a bit different to this. Anyway, I'll catch you soon. Bye. I'm taking plenty of water this time because I don't want to run into the same issue that I did the last time I did a photo shoot, and I had literally no water to drink and nearly lost the fucking plot. Here we go. Okay, so I've just stopped at Chester Services on the way to Manchester. I was actually stopping for a wee in true Grace fashion, but I think I'm going to have my second meal now. Because I was going to have it when I got to Manchester, but then it's only literally like 30 minutes, or it would be like 20 minutes until I start shooting. And not that this is like going to bloat me or fill me up like crazy or anything like that, but I'll probably just feel a little bit better if I haven't got a load of food in my stomach. So I'm going to eat it now and then go for a wee and then continue on to Manchester. So I should get there about half an hour earlier, or half an hour early. So this meal is literally 100 grams of raw weight chicken, cooked obviously. Just got a handful of like salad leaves, butterhead salad, the best one. And then what is in here? 100 grams of green beans. Super exciting, isn't it? So obviously using things like vegetables and salad leaves, low volume, that's not low volume, that's high volume, low carb foods are a great way to make you feel a bit fuller, rather than kind of using things that are the opposite. So that's another tip for you. So I'm going to eat this and then carry on the journey. Just got to Manchester. I'm just going to head over to Costa now to meet Danny and Ben. So Ben Mark is who I'm shooting with. So I'm just going to head there now. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. I'm quite nervous. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Cheer up.
Say cheer up.
Well, sass, confidence. Most people on prep lose all of that. You look like someone not to be fucked with there. Perfect, look over that way for me. More like get it all off the back. Just your head. More, if you can. Shoulders down wide, elbows down wide. Someone's feeling good, isn't they? Jesus Christ. Perfect.
Oh, hi guys. So I've just finished up shooting with Ben Mark, and also Danny was here. So Danny you will have seen in my London video. So Danny's a good friend of mine, so she was shooting with Ben. And I actually spoke to her a few weeks ago, just after the shoot that I'd just done with Eddie Whitehead. And she mentioned that she was in Manchester shooting with Ben, so I was like, ooh, I wonder if he's got any slots afterwards. And okay, I ran out of battery, but yeah, he had a slot literally just after Danny, so I was like, fuck it, let's go for it. I'd been wanting to shoot with Ben for a while. I'd wanted to do a lifestyle shoot, especially for like work content and stuff like that, so I went for it and it was really good fun. Definitely a bit more nerve-wracking than doing it in a studio because obviously you're out in the public, people are walking by and stuff, but it was really good fun. So just had a little bit of a catch up with Danny then. And now I'm going to eat my meal 3. That's empty, that's not it. I'm going to eat my meal 3 and then head home. I actually got most of my steps done, luckily, because I was meant to wake up this morning and go for a walk and I just must have snoozed my alarm. So I was a bit worried, but I've literally done 8,500 steps. So that's great because I don't even have to worry about it now, which is awesome. So I'm going to eat my meal 3, which is 130 grams of raw weight chicken, 150 grams of peppers, and again some salads, a butterhead salad, which I'm quite looking forward to because it is, what time is it now? It's 5:30, so it's a little bit later than I'd normally eat it. Like I said, I try and space them every sort of 2 to 3 I was going to say minutes, if only I could eat that often. 2 to 3 hours. So the timings are a little bit off, but I'm feeling okay because I've been busy, so I've been occupied. So I'm going to eat this, then I'm going to drive home. I can tell that I already need a wee. I don't actually know where I'm meant to pay for this parking, so I didn't see a pay thing, so I don't know if it's when you leave, but fingers crossed. I thought I'd update you though, because I did my check-in with AJ this morning and we have cardio back in. I think I mentioned this before, so I was a little bit gutted because I came to him telling him that training has been going well, hunger's been fine. I've just been struggling in terms of focus and like concentration. I have really been struggling with that, and that's quite tough when you're trying to run a business, and that causes me a bit of stress because I want to, you know, my business is my baby. I want to do, you know, my absolute best when it comes to work, so that's been a bit of stress. So I told him about that, and I maybe hoped for some high days, and instead I got more cardio. So only on rest days, so it's only 3 times a week, 45 minutes in the morning. I literally froze my Pure Gym membership 2 days ago, so I've had to unfreeze it, and I'll be getting my first cardio session done on Sunday, but it'll probably only be for like 3 weeks because we're 5.5 weeks out now. We'll probably pull out cardio a couple of weeks before the finals, and then obviously start to build up food from there. So if we push a bit harder now, we can pull back a bit sooner, closer to the, not close to the show, but when we get close to the show, which will help me come into the finals looking a bit more kind of fuller and well rested. So that's the plan. No changes to food or anything like that. Obviously you're going to see what my rest day food is like today, and yeah, I'm just gonna eat this, head home, get some work done, and then chill out and watch Married at First Sight UK. Are you watching it? It's the next best thing after like Love Island, so it's the next I'm quite glad that there's series like this that are happening, because it just gives you something to look forward to at the end of the night. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this. Doesn't that look so sad?
What's that, Papa?
Babe!
I'm sure.
Fuck it now.
Sorry, Bob.
I just said to Pabs, if you hear me speaking, I'm speaking to the camera, and the first thing that I said, he goes, what? Doesn't this look so sad, this sorry little bagel thing? But this is actually one of my favourite meals, so it's literally 2. I don't know why I'm trying to speak to you down here. Why don't I just pick the camera up? Fuck's sake. So, it's literally 2 whole eggs, which I put 1 on each side of the bagel, toasted, and then 100 ml of egg whites, which sounds so lame, but it is honestly one of my favourite meals. I think egg yolks, when you're on prep, they just taste unreal. I don't think in the off season I could even eat an egg. I think, yeah, I couldn't even stomach one because my appetite was so bad, so it's nice to be the opposite. But yeah, I always think to myself, I'm like, I wonder how many eggs on bagels I could eat in one sitting. I think I could easily do like 10, easily. But yeah, 2's gonna have to do. So this is meal 4. It's like a smiley face. Honestly, so good. One thing you might have noticed is that the majority of these meals are pretty boring. But the thing is, like, when you're on prep, any meal tastes delicious. And I think really the more like extravagant you make it and the more delicious you make it, like the more flavors you add to it, the more zero cal sauces, syrups, sweeteners, whatever it is, the more of that stuff that you add to it, the hungrier you'll be, because it just tastes ridiculously incredible. But keeping them a bit blander still tastes incredible. It makes it a lot easier to kind of manage. And something else that I do that definitely helps my hunger is I drink a fuck ton of water. And when I say a fuck ton, I mean it. So I have one of these bottles here. So I actually took 2 with me today, so I didn't have the issue that I had at the last photo shoot where I ran out of water. But I have this bottle here, which is a litre. It's got a straw. I literally swear by this thing. So I think I'd drink potentially anywhere between like 8 to 12 of these a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but especially on check-in days where I'm speaking so much, I really do need it. But it also really helps keep me feeling fuller and hydrated, of course. But yeah, a bottle with a straw is an absolute game changer. It sounds so lazy, but to have to like and this just isn't just a prep thing, this is just a general day-to-day normal hack. To have to do this and then this, it's just such a hassle. And it wasn't until I got a bottle with a straw that I started drinking so much water, because it's just dead easy. You just sit there like and drink your water. And then obviously adding cordial to it makes it just a little bit more interesting and makes it a little bit nicer to drink than just plain water. So top tip there. Obviously super important to stay hydrated anyway. Did you know that if we're literally like 5% dehydrated, we will die? And if we're like 0.5% dehydrated, we'll notice like a negative decline in cognitive function, performance, recovery. So yeah, I think a lot of people do not drink enough water, and they're so used to feeling that way that they don't realise how shit they actually feel. So get yourself one of these, get yourself some cordial, start drinking more water, and you will notice a big difference, especially to your energy levels, but also to your hunger. Something else that I've been trying to do, which I think is really, really helpful when it comes to kind of just recognizing, well, first of all, taking your time with your food, but also recognizing your hunger and your fullness cues, is to eat at like a table, and to try and eat without distractions. So rather than sitting and watching telly or scrolling through Instagram or watching a YouTube, which to be fair, a lot of the time I'll watch a YouTube, but rather than doing that, actually being present when you're eating your meals and paying attention to how it tastes, how good it tastes, how it makes you feel, and how full you're feeling as well. It just helps you, obviously it helps you digest your food better, but it helps you register that food a lot better as well. So you're gonna feel fuller quicker, or at least you're gonna notice it quicker. So that's a really good practice if you are, you should be doing it anyway. But if you're dieting especially, it's really gonna help with keeping you, or getting you full and keeping you satiated from your meals. So give it a try, it's really tough. We're also used to just sitting there watching something, keeping ourselves distracted, but give it a try, even if it's just for one meal, and notice how much you're, or notice how fast you fill up if you do that. Okay, so you may or may not know what time it is, but it is time for the best meal of the day. I know I said that about the last one, but this one genuinely is, and this is my oats. So this is meal 5. It's currently 8:45, which is normally the time that I'll eat this meal. I don't like spending the majority of the evening feeling hungry, so I will eat somewhat close to bedtime. I normally give it like a couple of hours, and it doesn't give me any digestive issues, so it's all good. But yeah, oats. So I've got 50 grams of oats, 100 grams of strawberries, 35 grams of whey. I still think that the vanilla Perform whey is the best one. Yes. And I know that's probably a bit controversial because they have a lot of really nice sounding flavours, but we've tried, I think, the caramel biscuit, the double chocolate, the hazelnut chocotella or whatever it's called, the one that's like a Kinder Bueno. We've tried another one as well, and they just don't hit as good as the vanilla. So yeah, 35 grams of vanilla whey, and then 20 grams of peanut butter. And if you haven't got onto this yet, you are missing a trick. This stuff is like liquid gold. It actually looks like liquid gold as well. I ran out of some the other day, and I had to just use like the normal peanut butter that we had in the cupboard, and this meal was shit. It wasn't shit, it just wasn't anywhere near as good. So I'm gonna make this gonna chill out, watch Married at First Sight, and just, yeah, relax for the rest of the evening. So that is a full day of eating. I believe it comes to about 1,300. I'll put the numbers here. And when obviously I'm on a meal plan, so I don't know the exact numbers, I don't pay too much attention to them. But when I actually add them up and I put them on my fitness pal, it's a bit of a shock. Like, I've never eaten this little food, but it's more of a shock that I actually feel, you know, fairly decent on it. It's a very small amount of food. You know, 1,300 calories is not a lot in comparison to what I've been on in the past. You know, in the off season I got up to 3,400, so another 2,100 calories on top of that. But I think because of all of the different things that I do and the kind of structure and the routine that I have, and the foods that I'm choosing, it makes it so much more manageable. So I think if you're really smart about what you eat, when you eat it, how you eat it, and everything obviously around that, such as your sleep, your stress, your water intake, and so on, I think it can be really, really manageable. And I think a lot of people find dieting difficult because they don't take care of all those little things. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it was enjoyable. And hopefully I won't have to eat this little food for much longer because as much as it's manageable, I'm looking forward to feeling a bit fuller. So not long now, 5 weeks. So I am back again because I'm actually going to talk you through how I make my oats, because a lot of people actually ask me what the hell it is, and it's really not that interesting, but it's a process. It's turned into a process, the way that I cook these oats. The process has evolved over time, but it has to be perfect, it has to be exact. So what we do, we have 50 grams of oats. I just cover it with water. I don't measure the water or anything like that. We've got the whey here mixed with a little bit of water, so it's like a sauce, but it's the oats that matter, right? So we're going to put this in the microwave for 2 minutes. Then we're going to take it out. We're going to add a little bit more water, and then we're going to put it in again. So 2 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Okay, I stop it just before the timer ends because I hate the beeping sound. Prep head. So see how it's absorbed a lot of the water. We're going to add just a little bit more to this because it's still a little bit sloppy. So I'm only going to add a little bit more water to this. Just a little bit. I'm going to give that a mix. Basically, we just want the oats to absorb all the water, so I'm probably going to put this in for another 2 minutes. Obviously, the more or less oats you have will mean that the time varies. Okay, see how they're going poofy? Poofy. Give it a little mix, let it settle for a little bit, and I'll probably put this in for another 45 seconds to a minute. I won't put any more water in because I don't think the oats can really absorb any more water, but it can get a little bit thicker and a little bit drier. So 45 seconds to 1 minute, and I'll just keep an eye on it. I told you, it's a process. So once these are pretty much like fully cooked, like we can't get any more water in them, then I will add the strawberries, the whey paste or whey sauce, the liquid gold, and then we put them back in the microwave. So this is what it ends up looking like. Beautiful. I don't like this part because I have to mix it all up and it just doesn't look as good. Put some salt on that. If you're not salting your oats, you are missing out. And then what we do is we mix this up. Oh, look at that. Once you add all the bits to it, it kind of thickens up anyway. But what I'm going to do is put this back in the microwave for like 45 seconds to a minute, because what it does is it kind of like cakifies the outside of it. It makes it kind of spongy. And this is kind of the evolution of... It's kind of like the evolution of me wanting to have like oats that are like scalding hot. If they weren't, then I just couldn't enjoy them. I think mostly because they're just too easy to eat and I'll just inhale them. That's another tip, like take your time with your food. But yeah, this is like an evolution of that. So now I want them scalding hot, but I also want them quite cakey on the outside, so I get the best of both worlds. So the inside is like normal and then the outside is nice and cakey. It stays really hot as well. So another 45 seconds to a minute and then they'll be perfect. There we go, we got that nice cakiness on the outside. Perfect, perfect. I told you it's a process. Now I'm gonna sit, enjoy these oats, watch Married at First Sight. We were gonna put Harry Potter on because it's been raining today and it's been like a really gloomy day. And when it's like that, I always just want to, you know, lounge around and watch Harry Potter, but I just didn't have enough time. So I'm gonna watch Married at First Sight. I'm gonna enjoy this beautiful meal. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the day done. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Share this on your stories and I'll catch you on the next one.